everybody? Welcome back to episode 2 of the Two Like We Said It podcast, featuring you and me and Edwin, my G. Welcome back, guys, to another episode. Ed, what's up, dog?
You. That's what I heard it was saying. You. That's Soulja Boy.
And I got a brand new dance for y'all little skinny niggas out there.
Imanio told ya.
Hey, welcome back, guys, to episode 2 of 2026. Ed, I didn't even know we was doing these annually until the other day. Ed got a perfect, he like the Mayan calendar of human beings. It should make sense celestially after you work it all out.
It's like, yo, we do seasons. So that way, in between seasons, we have a couple of weeks where we take a little break. You know, let the world turn a little bit so we have more things to talk about, and then boop, come back in. You know,
yeah, man, it's turning fast nowadays, though, Ed. Man,
these days go by quick. You know, you blink. Just like life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop to look around every once in a while, you'll miss it.
Ain't that the truth, though, bro?
Yeah.
Man, just think about how far you are removed from just like your high school graduation and how close that seemed to you. But it's motherfuckers out here who lived the whole life in that way.
Yeah, and then you think about it, I was like, damn, I graduated high school in 2000. And we're in 2026.
Put yourself out there like that.
So I graduated high school 26 years ago.
26.
Just the thought of that is crazy.
How does that make you feel? And how does that make you feel on the inside?
I mean, I feel great. It's just the thought of thinking that 26 years has passed since I graduated high school, let alone, my life itself, because that's kind of almost like a midpoint. That's the transitional point between
yet.
I mean, yeah, 50.
Oh, you talking about high school?
Yeah, between high school, between when you first alive to, it's that point when you're in that transitional phase.
Not when you're born, when you first alive.
Well, I mean, now they say alive and unalive. So when I first was alive.
They said it like it's a director sitting there like, all right.
This is the first moment that I was alive.
When I was alive.
Could you imagine remembering the first time you saw the light of the world? Like you coming out the coochie, and then you're like, and then you see a doctor like smacking you and shit.
No, I can't even imagine that.
It's crazy God how we don't remember those things.
God blocked that off.
Because can you kind of like sit there and imagine like you're going through the canal, and all of a sudden it's like darkness, and then it's like, yo. It's like, damn, son, we're not supposed to remember that shit. Is basically what it's saying.
That's terrifying. Some doctors say the baby don't have no effect though. Like, you ever seen them babies that come out like it come out look like they was listening to regulators on the way out the bus.
They just come out like it's all like it is what it is. Like, I've been here before.
Yeah, exactly. Yo, them babies, you smack nigga. He alive.
It's like, yo, he good. Here you go.
That is the face. It's like, I don't know what you want.
This baby's creeping me out here. Take this motherfucker from me. He gonna come back. He gonna come back, talk to the doctor 15 years later, says, Doc, I just want to let you know I didn't like how you handled me on the way out. I felt like you gripped my head a little bit too hard. Yo, get the fuck away from me. Get the fuck away.
He was fully aware, yo. He was aware.
He came out fully aware, yo. He didn't appreciate how he grabbed his umbilical cord either.
Yeah, getting snatched out of your house. It's like getting abducted by the bartel. That's what I would say.
Yeah,
it's like coming in and snatch you out your crib. That's crazy.
It's kind of like when a squirrel living in a tree and then someone chops that tree down.
That's crazy.
And then just like that, you're not in that tree no more. You're like, what the fuck just happened? 1 minute I was nestled in my little nestle, like, and next yeah, goon, and then you're out of the tree, like, what the fuck happened? Welcome to the world.
Predator City. Welcome to the
fuck
world.
You. Put me back in, you son of a bitch. I was warm and comfortable.
Put me back in. It's over. What you mean? Reinsert me.
Hey, yo, Sean just had a traumatic experience.
Yeah. It's flash. That God showed me that moment real quick. Like,
My son.
That's crazy.
My bad for transitioning us into that crazy weirdness.
Man, you good. That was good interpretive therapy for all of us, man.
Yeah.
What's good with you though, man? Hey, how you doing, bro? What's up with you this week, man? How you been?
I'm chilling, man. I'm getting mentally prepared for this long road trip I'm about to take ahead in the next day or two.
People, where you going, Ed?
Man, we're gonna take a road trip to Tulsa, Oklahoma. My sister's moving out there, so we're gonna take a road trip out there, move with the moving truck and whatnot, and just hit the road. We're gonna go down 40 all the way through all the states until we hit Tulsa. We're gonna go through all major cities. We're probably gonna go through Tennessee, so we're gonna go through Nashville, through Memphis. All the major cities of Tennessee we're gonna go drive straight through it till we get there.
Think you're gonna pass St. Louis? Riding through St. Louis in a scat.
I don't think so. No, I'm not sure.
No sexy.
I got an itinerary. You know me. I set already like pit stop locations already set.
Sister told me, she was like, he got every stop planned. I was like, I know he do, yo. Qatar plan ass.
I got them saved. I got them saved in my phone. So it's like, you know how you put the GPS to your destination? I'm putting each pit stop. So every time we get to a pit stop, I load up the next location until we get there.
How much space are you putting in between them?
Like 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Okay, yeah, that's perfect. You can't miss that one because then you in for a haul if you play.
Yeah. Every 2 hours and 20 minutes. So then that way, if we have any kind of driver fatigue, we can swap drivers at any one of those points.
Hit the Newport.
Yeah. So if we drive, like I plan on driving the first 4 hour leg, hit the Newport, first 4 hour leg. And then after that, then I'm going to probably swap drivers.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Well, safe travels to you leaving Friday morning.
Yeah, we plan on leaving between 3:30 and 4:30 in the morning.
Okay. All right. Yeah, no doubt. Well, the family, when y'all hear this, man, salute to y'all. Safe travels to y'all. I pray everything works out well over there in Oklahoma. Ain't no oak in Oklahoma.
And I appreciate you helping the fam getting some of the stuff situated over there in Baltimore. They're going to be driving down here tomorrow. So
I know they told me, man. So that's what's up, man. Shout out to the family. All right.
As a matter of fact, by the time people see this, I'll actually already be in Tulsa by the time this episode airs. That's the crazy part.
So what you gonna do when you get in Tulsa? Real quick.
I'm not sure. I've never been there, so I think first things first is just get everything, the necessities out of the truck, get some rest. Yeah. Probably when we get there, just immediately just park,
crash out,
set up, get rest, and then wake up, get all that set up. Once we get the truck unloaded and stuff, return the truck and probably explore the town and see what's going on in the reservations. I want to go to the reservations. The Indian
okay,
that's the main thing I want to.
Turquoise beads. Give me a turquoise bead necklace, yo. And a headband. And a feather headband.
I definitely am gonna look. That's what I'm gonna be paying attention to, like little trinkets, a little something, like keepsakes that I can remember the trip by.
The Sioux people out there.
Anyway, that Tennessee barbecue is also what
that's what I was waiting for you to get to. That's what I was fishing for, brother.
Just know that 3 of the pit stops are barbecue spots.
I knew you were smart, but I did not know.
Yeah, because we're gonna hit those spots. We're gonna hit each city at a different point of the day. So, the first spot, by the time we hit the first spot, it's gonna be right around lunchtime. So that's gonna be perfect. So get something light, and then the next spot's gonna be a little bit later on. So just probably stop just to get another. Probably the third spot's gonna be where the evening time, where it's supper time. So.
Supper.
It's supper. You said supper. Didn't you say supper?
Yeah, no. You about to get some supper in the South. You're not about to get no dinner. You get some supper, boy.
Where did that word come from? Supper. I've never heard that used.
Slavery, as far as I know. I don't know. That's all I seen there. Supper, boy. Come get your ass in here and eat this supper.
Get the supper.
SUPPER. Supper. Anyway, yo, man. Let's get into it.
You mean dinner? Slack.
We don't cook dinner here. We make supper. Supper good. Shout out to any ladies who make supper. Hit my line. We can build together. Shit. I need a supper sister. Anyway, man, let's get to it.
Oh, all right. Yeah, let's get
So
into
both of them.
He said both.
Both of them, bro. All righty. So hey, of course, as you know, man, I'm a big conspiracy theorist, man. So I'm gonna start peppering in. I can't speak. My tongue is delayed. I'm gonna start peppering in these themes. Not every week, not even every other week, but every once in a while when it tickles my fancy and I have enough mental bandwidth to comb through some shit to present a valid case to you. We're gonna go over some of the most contested or highly I'm not gonna say highly accepted, but most usually passed around. What word am I looking for? Usually spread. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking.
Passed around.
Passed around. Usually shared conspiracy theories. And the conspiracy theory of this week, we gonna call this segment, I think, deep dive. I'm gonna try to get some graphics together, be like deep dive, and have thunder and shit on it. People from Global Guts gonna do the music. It's gonna be beautiful. But until then, there you go. There you go. The light pianist. The light pianist. Play it with your wrists up. But there you go, boy. There you go, boy. You earned yourself some supper.
Some supper. That's what I was doing it for.
Supper, boy.
I sure am hungry. Wait, my bad. I sure is hungry.
I would IZ. They serve supper at Cracker Barrel. All right, so here, Jesus, man, my ADHD going nuts. The deep dive of topic of today is going to be Malaysian Flight 370. Okay, so just a little quick run over of what Malaysian Flight 370 was. It was a flight. It was a flight leaving out of Malaysia, I believe. I mean, of course, guys. Hold on. Let me put this on me real quick because I don't want this to be misconstrued anyway. Ed don't know nothing about this. And I don't even know much about this, but I'm a conspiracy theorist. So it's my duty to sell half-baked ideas. So here we go. Malaysia Flight 370. All right, so it was a flight from Malaysia, I believe. I don't know where the fuck it was going, but they was going somewhere. Halfway through the flight, they change course, start flying all over the place in wild-ass patterns. Then the flight box goes off, and the plane disappears forever. For months and months and months, they tried to look for debris in the area in which the flight went down. Now, this went down in a big ass ocean, the southern Indian Ocean. I should have pulled up a graphic of that, but it's not Lake Minnetonka. Nigga. It's a big ass body of water. This is the real deal ocean. So the plane disappears over the ocean, and it was just never found again. And there's a lot of ideas about what happened. What's being sold to us is that the plane just crashed in the ocean. We look for it. It must have sank to the bottom of the ocean. It's a wrap. And they look for a very good time. As you say right there in the bottom left-hand corner, debris was found. But some people say, was they hijacked? Was it a remote control detonation? Did it crash? Was it terrorism? Was the plane shot down? A bunch of shit, okay? There was also some scientists on this plane who had some cures to shit or something like that.
Okay, that's exactly what my question was. Was there any high-profile passengers of note?
Yes. It was several Chinese dignitaries, diplomats, scientists. So there was like 16 to 20 people on there of prominence.
Okay, so I'm ready to give you my theories right off. And remember, as Sean said, I don't know shit about this. The first time I'm literally hearing about this right now for the very first time.
Yes.
Right off the bat, I'm automatically thinking these motherfuckers are alive in a bunker right now somewhere, creating shit.
Oh, so they got put to work.
The rest of the people on that flight, they canceled.
Good word.
Essential personnel are the only ones that are alive. Let's just keep that straight because there's no reason to waste resources and feed motherfuckers that don't mean shit, right? And I don't say this to say that lives like lives aren't like essential, but if you're going to disappear, motherfuckers, first things first, the reason why you're doing it is because there's a select amount of people that are very highly important, and you want to continue certain things under the radar. So if everyone believes they're dead, then you can do all of these things without nobody questioning nothing, because first of all, they don't even know they exist anymore. So that means the people that are not part of that, the select few that are part of that, are alive somewhere, are well kept and whatnot, while the rest execution style, they're gone. They probably incinerated somewhere with the remains of the plane.
Lord have mercy.
This is just a theory now. I'm just saying
It's
right
real.
off the bat.
Yo,
But
I never thought about that, yo. And
so
I think
if we're gonna like think of any kind of conspiracies, that's the very first thing I'm gonna think of. Why did this plane disappear? There's no that means there's no traces of life or bodies or anything, right? Never found, right?
a couple.
Oh yeah, those people are alive in a bunker somewhere. There's
a couple
there's
little
an underground
wings.
civilization like Paradise. You seen that show Paradise?
Paradise.
Have you seen it?
Paradise.
I'm serious. Have you seen it?
Hell no, I ain't seen no Paradise.
Yo, that's a really good show. I think you can see it on Hulu. But this show basically is talking about end of the world scenario, and a scientists foreseen this coming like 10 years down the road. So these billionaires, there's one huge high billionaire got together and got some of the world's most richest people, and they built a civilization inside of a mountain that was self-sustaining, and then they created like this dome environment that made like a holographic image to make it look like it's the clouds and the sun and everything. So people are walking around outside and they look into the sky and they think they're looking at the sky, but it's really a holographic image made to look like the sky, but they're living inside of a mountain, and it's a city in the side of a large mountain. You gotta see this show. It's crazy. The same people, the same writers that wrote the show This Is Us wrote it. So it does a lot of like back and forth with time before the incident, time after the incident. Anyway, the point of the matter is that technology exists for people to survive in like bunkers of this nature away from civilization. Is self-sustaining because we have different ways to self-sustain in bunkers. Those bunkers exist. They've been doing these things for years, these movies about this stuff, but the technology exists. And then secondly, have you seen a show called Manifest?
I did see a little bit of
about a plane that disappeared.
Right. Yes.
Theory number 2, the biblical theory. This plane,
hold on,
is going to appear 20 years later from now, and these people are going to be the same age they were when it disappeared, like the show Manifest. And then it's going to be like some like holy miracle on where did these people go? Where were they? But this flight was in a electrical storm, and then they lost contact with the plane. Right. And then when they lost contact with the plane, they never heard about the plane. They went flying looking for it. The plane was never found. 20 years later, the plane all of a sudden lands at the airport, or like the plane all of a sudden comes back into the scope, like the tower, the tower control sees the plane
back in the atmosphere.
Yeah. And they to the people in the plane, it's only been 20 minutes that they were in peril. And next, they're like, "Oh man, we made it out of the storm." And then people's like, "What the fuck? This is flight such and I forget the name, the flight number." And they were like,
hold on.
So then the plane lands, and then to the people on the plane, it's only been 20 minutes. But everyone else has been 20 years. People that got remarried, families done moved on.
That's fucked up. Get out of my wife.
There was a kid on the plane that had a very rare cancer that he was going to die from, and the doctor that created the means for the cure was also on that flight, and the technology caught up to them. So when they landed, that doctor was able to, it's some crazy shit. You guys, this show is crazy as hell. So now the kid has the means to survive the cancer because she left her research behind. Like right before the plane went out of things, she sent an email of her research to another doctor that continued her work.
And they can, for 20 years they built.
So 20 years later, they land the plane, and then this doctor's research. Now they have a medicinal solution to different forms of cancer based on that doctor's research. And then that kid now is able to survive. That's the most
acceptable way out of this. That's the most acceptable thing. If that happens, then I'll be okay.
So like, let's say so it's 2014. It's been over 10 years at this point, right? So that means in 10 years from now, this plane's gonna all of a sudden just pop back into scope, like school, and they're like, wait a minute, this flight's back, and I'm gonna think of Manifest right off the bat, like, oh shit, yo they went through an interdimensional portal and flew through an interdimensional wormhole. And because there's no time inside these interdimensional portals, it took 20 years for them to get to the other side and back to us, which has been 20 years later, but to them it's only been 20 minutes.
What did the government say about that? Because I think that would be some information that would
Well, the government was studying the plane,
shake
like
the
in
way
that
we
show,
live.
the FBI, all kinds of different government entities was at the landing site, and then no one really knew on the
Hell,
plane what the fuck are they doing, and no one knew on the plane what happened. They just thought that they just went through a storm and just landed.
and it can't be capped because they didn't age, so they're
Nope,
not
they're
lying.
not aged. So there was kids on that plane that were same age when they came back. What one of the kids, the crazy part was, it was twins. It was fraternal twins. The sister, because what happened was it was a family that was on a plane that it got delayed, and then one they only were able to book a flight with only half of the family was able to go. So they got on this earlier flight
Mhm.
and left while the other family stayed behind. So the sister and and the grandparents and like two other family members went home on the thing, and then they waited on the plane with the son and all them. So when they landed, the daughter, she was already like almost an adult, while the kid, oh my bad, it wasn't 20 years, it was 5 years, my bad, it was
Oh damn! I was
5 or
hoping
6
it
years.
was 20. Yeah.
So that the kid now is still like 8 years old, while his sister's like already graduated from high school type shit.
Dang.
But they were fraternal twins, so it was mad freaky and shit that he was able
Mad
to.
freaky.
It was a freaky situation. So like now his twin sister is way older than him. It was weird as fuck.
They're not twinsies no more. So
No, they're not
what,
twins.
all right, so that's TV though, but this is
Yeah,
real
that's
life.
TV, but hey, TVs are based on theories.
Okay, so that's what I was gonna say. So
I'm thinking that show was based off of this flight, because that show came out like 2000, that show came out like 2018, 4 years after this flight disappearance.
oh yeah. Okay.
So if I'm a
So
writer of a TV show, I'm like, yo, that's some crazy shit. This no one knows where this plane is. What if this happened? And then they created that show based on that theory, is what I'm thinking.
So could that would be super freaky if that was the other way around, though, right? Like if this show happened first and then that flight disappeared.
Turns out that flight does come back.
But how have you ever seen the movie Contagion?
Contagion. Is that
With I think it's Matt Damon, Lawrence Fishburne, some white women.
Lawrence Fishburne, Matt Damon, some white women.
It's
what
a
an
very
incredible cast. It's a very deep cast. You got Lawrence Fishburne, Matt Damon, and some white women.
Talented white women in that movie.
And they're all white and they're all right.
All right. But it was a movie that came out a little bit before the pandemic.
I think I remember that movie. I'm pretty sure I've seen it. I don't think I've seen it more than one time, but that was basically about an outbreak, right? They were containing an outbreak.
It was just like COVID. But anyway, sometimes I'm saying it's crazy how life imitates art and when it's the other way around. So, but with this situation, Ed, so how can a plane just go missing? They can track you to the street you're on as you maneuver through the world. I mean, if you take a flight, they'll track you through this planet.
Yeah, how do you make a giant plane with over 60 passengers just poof
disappear?
So, I mean, that's why people are thinking a hijack. That's why there's all these theories that formulate, because when you don't know, it leaves everything to the imagination. So you're like, how can this plane disappear? Well, it had to have exploded. Now, the thing is, jet fuel is way more combustible than standard fuel that we use on ground vehicles. So if you think about it, if there's any kind of explosion that happens on a plane, it does have the capabilities of reaching the temperatures of incineration, which means that everybody could have easily been incinerated if an explosion happened. Like if you put a bomb on a plane, a significant large enough bomb, and it explodes while it's in flight, that plane will just be debris going into the ocean. And obviously if it goes into the ocean as debris, the ocean is going to sweep it into the bottom. All that's going to spread out. That's why they found debris on the beach sides and found pieces. So that's a great assumption to have. Is like, okay, this plane probably exploded on impact. Yeah, the ocean is vast. Like we haven't explored 100% of the ocean. So we don't even know the entire planet, because the ocean depths are so deep, and the far deeper you go, the higher the pressure. We don't have the means to get down there, so we don't know nothing. Yeah. We had an episode talking about the depths of the ocean. So if plane debris went down in there, there's areas where we can't even get to know. And then the other theory is they could have easily hit this plane, because obviously there's areas of the world where you can hide stuff. So just like I talk about a mountainside, you could create crevices into mountainsides, and there's like you can dig them out and tunnel them in and hide a plane in that bitch. So that's also possible too.
Don't planes have like that black box thing that
but if
elements that float no matter what and are indestructible and always float, etc.
Correct. That's what makes it interesting, because the only way that would happen is if it was an incineration type situation where it exploded and then it went into the ocean. But yeah, wouldn't
the black box be floating somewhere?
A
whale could have ate.
Anything could have. Shit, a fucking giant squid could have took that bitch for all we know.
Black box, my favorite.
There's a squid now that has a USB drive in one of his tentacles, and it just
turned him into Steve Jobs of squids.
I was like, they're watching all of our history through that black box.
That's crazy.
But yeah, that's the crazy part. Like, what happened to the plane? Because at what point did they lose contact with the plane? And then from that moment, that's where you start to look. You expand your search based on when you lost contact.
What I'm saying. It started like, it didn't just fall off the map. They checked the flight pattern. It started just flying around crazy. And then it didn't crash. Somebody turned the switch off because they could still see like basic information, but they couldn't ping it and shit like that.
Oh, so that's why the hijack theory probably came into play.
Right. It's so much. It was so.
No one's even thinking about alien abduction.
Crash.
Has anybody thought about aliens coming down and just?
We ain't got enough time for that. We ain't got enough time for that.
Aliens could have took that.
Now you getting nasty with it. Now, yeah, you better take a drink.
Aliens could have took
real Arsenio Hall.
It was the Greys. The Greys took that whole flight.
Greys. This the size of avatars. They Greys in the middle of the ocean. Though, what they just walked up.
Nah, they just beamed the whole plane, yo, in the mothership, yo. The mothership is like the size of Texas, and it just took the plane.
We got hella ships
because it needed those scientists to save some of their grays because they probably had some research.
They back on planet doing
everything
surgery.
To me, everything comes back to those scientists. As soon as you said essential personnel was on there and there were scientists of high regard, I'm not trying to hear nothing, yo. Those motherfuckers are alive. If anything, those scientists are alive, yo. That's my conspiracy theory. My conspiracy theory is everybody else got disappeared. Those scientists are in a bunker somewhere creating shit. That's what's happening right now.
So what do you think? You think that's do you think it's a conspiracy? You think it's something more to it? Or do you think it's the story they told us about just a crash?
I don't believe any of the story. When something disappears of that nature, there's no way that we're going to get the whole truth. There's definitely to some degree something covered because it's incompetence to a different level or it's on purpose. So either they're covering something that they're hiding or they're covering incompetence. Either way, we're not getting the whole truth of that matter. Because you can't lose track of that many people and not have no incompetence involved. Yeah, a whole plane and people. So it's just not possible that we have the whole truth on that matter. And because of that, we're going to have these theories. And I think my theory is the closest to truth is those scientists are alive and well, not happy. They're not happy because they're basically scientific slaves. It's like, you will be alive to make these experiments. or those scientists are in cahoots with the situation and they know, so they kind of all join the flight because they know that they're going to create these things. So that's another thing.
What if the scientists singing Negro spirituals? Like they made their own scientific Negro spirituals in the bunker.
Do you know do you know where these scientists are from? Like what countries? Are they from different countries? Or are they all from the same country?
I think they were all Asian, either like from mainland China, from Malaysia.
Oh, then those they're in a bunker in China creating fucking
Damn.
technological advances, preparing China for an inevitable world war that's coming down 30 years from now. And they got that bunker like paradise already built with these scientists. This is what's going on.
At least it's nice, yo. That's the third time you mentioned it being nice for him, yo. So at least you, I know you're a good dictator, Paul. That's crazy, yo.
Yo, them scientists
All
are
right.
alive and well, creating shit right now as we speak.
With a hammer and shit and a soldering iron.
They got
right,
all the essentials, yo. As long as people think they did, they can operate freely.
That's slavery crazy, yo.
People have funerals for these people already. Everybody done moved on, yo. It's been over 10 years. People done moved on with their lives and done already they've already come to terms that those family members are gone. And meanwhile, those scientists are hard at work. Ting, ting, ting.
Why they doing John Henry shit? All right, let's get it. Moving on, Ed. So we both are into the musics, I guess you could say. Mostly, I would say myself, definitely for sure, more so like a hip hop, R&B, rap type of guy. And it's always this comparison of new age rappers. I mean, it's been like this since I was in my 20s. New age rappers who were then new age rapper were trash. People would say this was like the 2000s, 2010s. These people are trash. But then after the next generation come up, it's, you know how I go back in my day. But at one point, your day was back in my day. And it's just another ending cycle. But we get to the point where we are really hearing music now. Where some of the shit just really don't make no sense. I'm not gonna say it's trash, but you hear niggas saying something, you be like, okay. Like you're like, what the hell is that? So my question to you, Ed, is this: and I think it's a reason why the lyrics are just going crazy. So, do you think rappers have just resorted to just laziness and I'm not even gonna try when I mumble this shit out? Or do you think they really was right and it was like, oh no, Raekwon already said that. Oh damn, no, Jay-Z already said a bar like that. Oh, Tupac already said a bar like that. Are rappers these days really trash? Or did they just ran out of ill shit to say? Let me know what you think, Ed.
Oh man, I think it's probably the latter there. I think it's more so like, how can we it's kind of like the Hollywood industry now. Like, remember, movies had originality back then, and now we're like seeing the same stories to the point where you're watching a movie and you already know how the movie's going to end. It's like, because it's like, I've seen this before. I don't know where, but I've seen this before. Well, I think music is taking the same
predictable
thing.
Yeah.
Where it's starting to be more like a formulaic type of thing where, hey, this is how it is. And I think that artists today are trying to find originality. And I think in doing so, they're creating the slang. Matter of fact, slang is more abundant now than it was back in our day. Like back in our day, we hear slang. Yeah, like slang terminology would always change, from year to year, from location to location. Well, now slang is universally known, where like back in our day with the internet wasn't really prevalent.
More commercialized.
Rap artists, Southern slang. When you get that Southern rap artist thing, you hear Southern slang, you hear that Northern slang, and then that's how you get that the vernacular of different areas. Where now northern rap artists have southern rap artists have northern slang, and no one knows where the slang comes from because it's just getting created in an abundance. So it's like some rap artists will just say, oh man, I don't know what to rhyme here, so I'll just say jigglebach, and then just create your own, because I needed something to rhyme with wiggle socks or some shit, so I say jigglebach. I'm just making shit
more
up.
nonsense to rhyme with the other.
So they're creating nonsense words and then making these definitions. Yeah, and just to create a new sound. And I think that in the end, sometimes it's like, does it really matter if I know what it means? It just matters if it sounds good. So I think that they're just trying to create sounds. I don't know. I'm just like, spitballing here, trying to figure it out.
Okay.
Trying to rationalize why we get some of these things and they call them mumble rap, but maybe they're creating things and maybe it's slang that we don't know. We're old heads now, so we don't know what the slang is. That's why that 6-7 shit that happened. They're like 6-7.
I'm not talking about mumble rap, Ed. I'm not talking about mumble rap. Mumble rap is different because they be on opioids and tranquilizers and shit. They be posh.
Oh, okay, yeah, because they're just like tranquil.
You so drunk off syrup and drugs. Yeah, that's sedated rap. I'm not talking about what
Like, yeah, you talking about that?
Sesame, on Sesame Street. Yeah, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the ones who be clear and cohesive, but they be like, I hopped out the dungarees, pop starter. I ain't even got nothing, Bob Otter. And you be like, what the fuck is this nigga talking about? But like, I think it's because
Yeah, I think
because they go ahead.
yeah, no, go ahead.
I think it's because they see it doesn't make sense to us or make sound like gibberish because we saw what we saw and the music reflected that. And what they seeing today is not it's not a hard life no more. Now let me not say that. It is a hard life, but it's a different type of hard life. So it's the pressure from social media in your school when people might bully you or you don't got enough followers and that's the hard part. And it is hard for kids because that's what they're going through. It makes them depressed and it's real. But that's their heart. It's not like you was walking up the street like you growing up in Baltimore and you had certified drug dealers that you had to respect. It wasn't just a bunch of YNs. It was a hierarchy of the streets. So that's what they rapped about back then. Now it's wild freeform. The dude that's the man this week could get popped by a YN last week. Now he the man, and it's just so chaotic. It's like so that's what they rap. I think. I don't know. Maybe I'm trying to rationalize it too.
Yeah.
But what you think?
Well, I agree. I agree with what you're saying, but I think also because you got to think about it, like hip hop, the rise of hip hop and where it came from, where it started. You know, there was political based
Yes.
Points of hip hop where it was more so like
Yes.
trying to depict what's going on in the hood based on how the government
Injustices
and projects
in the hood.
and
Right.
gentrification and all of those things, and you got that stuff that's coming from the hip hop, and then you got the gangster rap that came out of the West Coast, where people from like Compton and those areas where that were very highly gang based and corrupt police organizations that were kind of like corrupt as well because cops were their own gang as well.
They was
So
the
then
gang,
you had
right.
those rap artists that came from those gangs, and authenticity was really more the thing. Like where now we get somebody that lives in the suburbs, but they sell weed, so they think they the street. So then their form of street rap is a different form than somebody that really came up with nothing. And I think that what happens is the oversaturation of artists now is we're losing a lot of the authenticity because the person that can get out most is the one that's going to get heard the most. So if you putting in the work and you really putting your music out there on a regular where somebody that doesn't have the resources, you're going to outshine them. Because back in the day, if you had skills, you get heard by an A&R, the A&R signed you, and now they put you up front and you come from rags to riches stories. Where now the grinds to riches story is now the thing because people can buy their own studio with $2,000 now. You can $2,000 can get you a decent enough studio where you can make music. This microphone right here only cost me, it's a cardio condenser mic, only cost me $160. Now I did get it on sale from Black Friday sale, but $160 is more attainable now than it was back then, and you get the right computer with the sound, a good sound card, and boom, just like that, I'm making medium level studio sound quality sound where I could make my own music. Where back in the day you couldn't. You know what I'm saying?
So hold on. So wait a minute. I'm not talking about the sound though. I got you.
No, I'm thinking that's the reason why we're hearing what we're hearing because more people are exposed to the ability to create music. So now we're not hearing all the authentic artists. We're hearing a lot of the artists that come from grandma's house or somebody in Oklahoma can spit like grandma's house. So anybody can just get a microphone and start spitting now. So we're hearing hip hop oversaturated with less authenticity. So then now that means that the originality has dropped. So now people just making up shit.
So is it not authentic though? Because
not all of it. No, of course not.
Well, I mean, I don't think any point of time rap was all authentic. It was always cappers and high steppers. But
of course, it was just less of them, is what I'm saying. It was less of them.
I think it was the same. It's just they didn't have access to put that shit out there. They was just in the apartment lobby. They was like, you know, I flow in my Cadillac. Niggas can't see me or I'll shoot your back. Like,
Here's a
ain't
great
got no
example
gun,
here.
Curtis.
NWA is a great example here. NWA started funded from street money. Like, this is straight street money,
the power of street
put together by a street person, individual that funded the whole operation, right? And then they put it all together and then finally came to their stardom. And then look at what we got from that. We got Ice Cube, Dr. Dre that came out. They're hip hop moguls, right?
Right. I got you.
And they came straight from the street. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, people saw Straight Outta Compton. I mean, is it all 100% factual? No, but the foundation of where that movie came from is factual.
Base was facts.
And how it happened. And then because of that, we got Bone Thugs and Harmony. Street kids with talent discovered by Eazy-E and put up in the forefront. And they have their own niche in hip hop. You wouldn't be able to find those people like that. So that's authenticity. What I'm saying, like, these are real people that came up on a come up, where now you can have somebody in the suburbs making music, and if they sell a little bit of weed, now suddenly they certify, they certify gangsters.
Some of these rappers though, if you listen to some of these rappers, they're not talking about gangster. First of all, gangster has died. Like, I don't know if you heard any of these new rappers. They're not trying to be gangsters for real. They talking about overdosing on drugs. It's really sad. That's the new wave now. Is I got so high that I passed away. I'm lit. But some of the other rappers, they be talking about some Westminster shit. You know Westminster, man. They be talking about some Cockeysville shit. They be like,
that was the old place for the Ravens training camp.
Yeah, shout out McDaniels College.
Yeah,
what's up, baby? But anyway,
you really brought up Westminster. Yeah, Westminster.
I had a little jet out there. Take me through there. She going. But so look, so they be talking about some Westminster shit. They be like, I'm outside Dad's farm, cows heavy, milk that, running through. My dog Kevin picked him up in a jigsaw. We're gonna pick up this corn, my nixer. Like, you be like, what the fuck? But that's their life.
After that, I'm gonna sip some elixir.
Bars.
That bitch is shady, so I call her a trickster. Bet that bitch over, and now I fixed her.
Oh my God, you cooking for Ethan? You cooking for Elijah? Ethan, turn that rap down. You're a hater, Mom. Like, but that's what I'm saying. So it's so many different, and I think we both saying the same thing, but they just meet at a certain intersection. Everybody has more access to it, even the people who may not be your traditional rapper. And if they are a student of rapper, just harping back to our original opening point of, are they out of lyrics? If they are really a student of rap, they don't want to just say something that Jigga said or Big said or J. Cole said, because it's been a lot of, ooh, like, I don't hear nothing no more. We be like, ooh, you know what I mean? We be like, oh, that's cold.
So I think that because of this, it's like what we got to do to regulate this is create more opportunities. Like, you got American Idol, The Voice. We need to get more hip hop based competitions. And we did that. Netflix had that thing with the hip hop joint where they were doing.
Can you minimize niggatry?
Well, I mean, you gotta let it be authentic, let it be what it is. But I think that you know how you had the hip hop open mics and you got the hip hop battles and stuff like that. All of that gotta just be more up forefront, and we gotta get that more, because then you can separate. You can separate the solid artists from just
ego and rap.
You can separate the real ones from the fake ones. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't got no time for fake ones. I don't want to quote Puff Daddy, but ain't got no time for fake ones. Only got time for the real ones.
Sips Crystal.
Yeah, ain't got no time for no fake ones. And I think there's a lot of fake ones. And that's unfortunately that's why we had the violence that happened where artists are posting their locations and stuff on Instagram, and next they get pulled up on and get tested, and next they get murked. But that's a sad thing. But you got to remember, is like sometimes when you perpetrating a lifestyle, and the people that are really living that lifestyle
Just
are
come
kind of
home
feeling
to
a certain type of way because you false flagging on
Yes.
wax. You false flagging
On the
on
life
wax,
they
and
live.
somebody that's really living that is going to come test that.
So Ed,
And
let me ask you this: do you think P Diddy still talk like that in jail? Like he be like, yeah, think he be in the lunchline.
yeah,
What
he's
do you have
slapping
today,
around. He's like,
Sean? Take the mashed potatoes, hold the gravy.
Listen, money talk, bullshit run a marathon, yo. I don't care if he tough, not tough. What everyone knows that he got that money. So for the most part, it's like,
too, bad boy.
for the most part, if until he runs out of money, he's safe.
I blew up Kid Cudi car.
If anything, he probably running his section of the jail for real.
I pick which jail I go to, bad boy. He picked which jail he went to.
He did.
Jail when I want to go to jail. Bad
Did he
boy.
pick it?
Yeah, he picked the jail.
See?
I think it was called Balls or something like that. Cock.
All I know
something crazy.
is that look, wherever he's at, he's kicked back, yo. Straight up.
boy.
The guards that's watching them are taking care of him because he takes care of them on the outside. I'm telling you, money really is power, yo. It's just like, I mean, I hate to say it, but it's just facts. If you got that type of move shit money, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then you put money on the table, you gonna get shit, make shit happen. Period. You say you laughing, but he talk like that. He probably talks more like that now than ever.
I like titties. Bad boy. All right, Joe, let me move on.
He's sitting back like, I thought I told you that we won't stop.
Oh, I need to know. Looking ass. All right, let's get it.
I need a girl to ride in my life.
That will ride
right,
for me.
Cassie?
Didn't appreciate it, so I let him slide for me. Looking ass.
It's all about the Benjis. What?
It's all about your cellmate, baby. What y'all want to do?
Want to be ballers, shot callers. Driving to my mansion with the Oilers, baby
We
Oilers.
hosting the talent contest this month. Diddy's favorites. Wing A versus
Hey, yo,
Wing
by
B.
any chance, when they found all that oil, baby oil, did the price of baby oil stock go up or down?
It was already purchased. It was.
I know it's already purchased, but I'm saying when that hit the news,
he had 1,000 bottles.
What happened to the stock of baby oil is what I'm saying. Did it go up or down? Somebody let me know.
It should have went down because a constant consumer has been jailed. It should have went down, but he not buying that much baby oil. The reality is, I hope Diddy didn't go to jail for being a freak, because that's not.
No, he went to jail for human trafficking, but they dropped the charge to a lesser charge because they found a loophole in how they,
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that narrative. Baby oil, everybody watching this show right now,
what the big thing that happened. That human trafficking.
You are a freak. You know, stop acting like when you get off work, you take your shoes off. You fellas, you sit down, your dick jump. That lets you know it's still alive. It's like, hey man, we got to do something.
Listen, money makes your imagination go wild. You know how we think of crazy shit in our heads. We be saying crazy shit on this show. If we were billionaires, the crazy shit we'd be thinking of, we'd fuck around and do some crazy shit because it's like, oh, we got the money. We can just fucking pay people to do this shit.
You only as freaky as your resources. But exactly. I hope you have the reservation. The only thing, no kids, man.
It's about having integrity. No women, no children. I told you.
Look at you now. It's women, but it ain't no children. No men, no children. Man.
Well, tell that to R. Kelly.
R. Kelly, but he was fucking with them young girls, pissing on kids, yo.
Children. Yeah.
Adios, mios. That's crazy work. All right, moving on, man. So something big has happened. We are in the content creation space, Ed. I guess you could say, right? We create content we put out there for consumption, public consumption. But something big happened, I want to say about a month or two ago. The American or the United States arm of TikTok was purchased by the United States government from China. Oracle and Larry Eelson and all them boys over there. Shout out to them boys over at Oracle. Holla, holla, holla. We them boys. Y'all get money. Y'all bought TikTok. Anyway, they bought TikTok. They came in, they did some restructuring, some reconfiguration. And one of the main byproducts, of course, they did some speech regulatory stuff, things you can say about political stuff, things you can say about gender, sexual orientation, things like that. But they also did some reconfiguring or a chicken reconfiguration, I guess you could say. TikTok creators are noticing a 70 to 80% reduction in their pay rates. In one instance, one young lady said she was making about $8,600 a month off of her TikTok, averaging a couple million views collectively a month between all content produced. With the same output in subsequent months, that shit whittled down to like $350 to $600. So far since the switch. So a lot of these people, a lot of these TikTok creators are saying things like, "Yo, flip this." Because it is a lot of work to do this, and I know with the
I think the lack of understanding of how business works is really what's causing the people to complain so much. When a property of this magnitude is purchased, you have to remember that you're now in the red in that moment, because it's you gotta build back and make it profitable again. So somewhere the line of money's gotta had to make adjustments in order to put yourself back in the black again. So by them purchasing it, it's a long-term thing. You got to be patient.
Right.
So what happens in this situation, they purchased it for probably an extreme amount of money. In order to justify that, then that means their payouts got to drop a little bit so that it can catch back up. But the reason why this is important is that no longer does China have control over it. So I guess the worry about it is what they were doing with information they were learning from it, and it was almost like they had kind of like a stronghold on American public on what they're doing, because they're watching what we're doing. So now America took control back of that entity now. So in that situation, it's like what was invested towards, and how the sacrifice has to be made is like, okay, now our payouts got to drop a little bit for this amount of time. Now, the one thing that has to be proper is that notification should have been sent out to these content creators. Say, hey, for this amount of time, your payouts are going to drop by this percentage.
I don't know if it has. I don't know if it was.
Yeah. So if it's not so people are probably not going to take that well, but they have to understand that that's how business works.
Niggas gonna read emails
because it's like if you bought something for $10 billion and you're still in the before you bought it, that was paying out X amount of dollars for views or whatnot, that's got to drop some in order for that person to justify that purchase. So now, of course, that's going to affect the creators a little bit to some degree. Now, were they notified is really what is up to them, or did they even read the notifications when it came through? Because people just click off of them and say, "Oh, fuck this," and then now they're going, "Hey, man, I was getting 8,000, now I'm only getting 4,000.
Right, that's what I think.
I can't live off this shit." It's like, nah, it probably got some notifications that for 8 months you're going to get this percentage drop, and then it should.
But is that fair though, Ed? Is that fair?
Of course it's fair. Why wouldn't it be fair? Otherwise, they'd go under. Then TikTok would go under. Then they don't get zero. So sometimes you gotta take a cut in order to get because those type of things are exponential growth. So that means that over time, TikTok, as long as it stays heavy in production and usage, every year it's going to increase. So that means that it's going to come back up again. But it just got purchased by a lot of money. So obviously your payout's going to drop too, because that company or whoever purchased it, they had to justify the means of the purchase.
So think about it this way. If you work in a law firm, your law firm get purchased out. You're a partner. Edwin's a partner. The governing body or the board says, okay, we just purchased your company for a 50% premium. It was $100 million company. We bought it for 150 million. Until we recoup that 50 million, we cutting your salary by $80,000.
It's kind of different. I'm gonna tell you why it's different, because most of the time you purchase something at the value that it is. I don't think that TikTok was purchased at its proper value. I think it was purchased. It was overvalued. It was overvalued.
Oh, hold on, wait a minute. Everything is purchased at a premium. Nothing is purchased for fair value.
I'm saying like this. I'm saying like this. Let's say you have a farm, right?
Mm-hmm.
And your farm is known for let's say cattle, right?
Okay.
And you have the best cattle. Now the thing is, you're selling the cattle, but then I come through and say, hey man, I want to go ahead and purchase your farm. You don't want to sell that farm, so I got to give you an offer you can't refuse. That means that I'm gonna give you the something that's valued higher. So like if your farm currently is valued at $10 billion, I'm gonna give you $20 billion, right?
Jesus Christ. Okay.
I'm giving you double the worth, right? So that means that it's gonna take me. That means that I can no longer sell the cattle at the same rate as you sell it. I have to sell it at a higher rate in order to justify that purchase, because now I dropped my thing down. So what I'm saying is TikTok more than likely was probably valued at $100 billion, right? And the US government probably bought it at $500 billion. So that means that obviously that's way over its worth. So that means you can't continue. You can't have the same level in order to recoup that. You have to, something has to adjust.
Is that on the internal staff though? Because the content creators,
everything is going to be percentages all the way down. Everything behind that is going to be tilted because of that. Because I don't think the purchase was made out of a business deal. It was made out of control. So that means that in order for them to buy that, they had to probably pay way more than what it was worth.
I don't think they paid
way
500%.
more.
I don't think they paid a 500%. I think it was like
something like it had to have been
60% premium, something like that.
You think so? Because I don't think if China wanted control of that, they would have gave it up unless they
it was included in that tariff negotiation shit.
Is that what it was? So there was negotiations behind that. So they gave him other things. Okay, well then that could change too.
But what I'm saying is,
or the government's taxing. The other thing is government's taxing. They use TikTok to tax.
TikTok tax. Damn, that's crazy. The TikTok tax for your goofy ass.
What's going to happen is they're getting 8,000 there. Fuck them. We're going to give them 4,000, and the 4,000 we gained from that, we can throw it over here. We fucked up some money over here. We'll take that 4,000 and funnel that into this other thing that failed, and then in 5 years that will lift it back up, and then fuck them TikTokers. That could also be the possibility too.
That's like cutting off.
They moving money around.
Face. I think it's cutting off your nose to spite your face. That's your end.
I didn't think about it from that angle. There's a possibility because of that. They're using they took some of the funds from that and
they taking it for granted.
Yeah, no, I mean they allocated some of the money from that somewhere else, and the TikTok creators are suffering a little bit for it because they're allocating
a lot of it.
Shit. Yeah, so they tax.
I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing. I just think it'll lead to the degradation of the platform in general because it's a misunderstanding. And I'm not, I know people will say, just get a real job then. Why are you worried about?
That's the first thing I say is like, why is TikTok your only job? Maybe get something else and have multiple revenue streams.
But
me and you got real jobs. Let's say this takes off, right? And we're blowing up. We got 10 million subscribers. And each of us are making about 10 grand a month off this shit. We technically could quit our fucking jobs. I would not. I would quit my job when I can't do it no more. So it's like, that means I was like, that's only more money in my pocket. So why would I stop working? Especially, I love my job also. So it's a difference. So it's like, if you still love your job, you're working at a job you hate.
Listen. TikTok makes money off of these creators.
Of course they do.
They want they're incentivizing.
It's an ad revenue stream, right? So everything goes off of views because that's ad revenues, marketing. So what happens is people are watching us, and while they're watching us, other sponsorships and stuff like that can throw ads, and we could either we could actually get direct sponsorship where they'll pay us to feature their
integrated into the
product on
show,
our show. We'll give them a little promo spot, or the people on YouTube, like if you pay YouTube Premium, then you're not going to get ads. So that means that YouTube's making money off not showing you ads on this off of you, right? So you don't see ads. But if you're just getting free YouTube, then every like 10, 15 minutes, we're talking, it's going to pop to an ad, and that's the ad revenue.
In some instances.
Yeah, so I haven't seen it because I got premium, so I haven't seen an ad on YouTube for so long. And the only ads I see are the direct ad sponsorship within the show where they do their own thing. So
what I'm saying is this:
ad revenue, so they're making money. Everybody's making money.
So, but if you don't have the content creators that's drawing the eyes, so I think it's a misconception that just like anybody could put out content, and this you can put out content,
but not everybody's successful.
That's what I'm saying.
And it's harder to be successful because of oversaturation. I mean, we're one of like 10 billion podcasts out there, and celebrities are cooking right now with the podcast because they realize that they already have followers. So what we're doing right now is on a heavy grind where they'll just be like, hey, just name alone. They'll just go on one of their little things and say, hey, I got a new podcast coming out January 4th. And guess what? They already have 5 million people that follow them on Instagram. All about 2.5 of them are going to instantly subscribe to their podcast. And they're instantly.
So that's what I'm asking. So that's what I'm asking. Do you think it's a bad idea for the government to stymie the funding to these content creators?
I mean, to a degree,
yes. To go elsewhere.
Well, where are they going to go? But where?
YouTube, Twitch, Rumble.
Somebody's apps are owned under the same umbrella.
Right, but the payouts is the same. Like YouTube still pays out regular, and they're not under the same.
I think TikTok. I don't like TikTok, to be honest. I don't like the format of TikTok, and I think TikTok has its own audience, and that's fine because it's fast medium, and everyone likes that fast medium. But TikTok is a combination now. That's a combination of both things because people got lives that last a long time. Then they got the short videos. We drop some of our videos on TikTok. That's fine for fun, but our main platform is YouTube. That's
fine for fun.
Yeah, for fun. But our main platform is YouTube. But I think that if you're someone that's a content creator and you're only using one location, then you're fucking up already. You should be dropping your content on every platform possible anyway, because that means that same content could give you ad revenue on all of the platforms. So I mean, in a situation like that, I think you just have to take a pivot and say, okay, I'm gonna drop my shit on TikTok plus on this and plus on that. Yeah, StreamYard. If we were to get the premium of Streamlabs, we could actually live on 4 platforms simultaneously. So we could be on TikTok.
You can't engage with all of them, though, right?
Yes, so because it's all we're centralized.
It's all one integrated
StreamYard, right? And see on the right side, we got our banners and the notes, and then the chats. If we were on a premium and we were going live, the chats from everybody would be formed on the right, and then you could watch which one is
all 4 streams will integrate there.
They'll integrate, and you just basically tab to each one. So like if you were tabbed on YouTube and you respond to the YouTube ones, I tab to TikTok or tab onto the other one and watch the chats from that. So like for instance, I watch 410 Sports Talk, or also I watch The Vault. These are 2 streamers. They use because you got StreamYard and then you got Streamlabs. And they say we have over 10,000 congruent watchers of viewers, because they also probably stream on what's the audio only platform, which is what's the audio only? Yeah, it's audio only. It's I think what's that the audio joint for music and stuff that people got?
Audible,
not YouTube, but where you listen to your music to, where you get your music. You got iTunes, and what else? Spotify. So Spotify is a huge platform for podcasts on an audio base where people don't see the people, they just hear them, right? So if, like, for instance, for us, if we start blowing up, that's probably the best thing for us to do is stream on YouTube and Spotify simultaneously, because
we need to get on Spotify tonight, then, nigga.
Yeah, of course, because they have an audio only platform where people just listen to the podcast and they can go to YouTube and watch it. So they have congruent listeners, and on their platform, whether Streamlabs or StreamYard, you can see the congruent viewership, and you can click and tab out to see which one's interacting the most, and you can interact based off of that. And in some instances, you could also post. We could, if we were doing live, we could post the chats in our window within our
Can you
joint.
do a YouTube, StreamYard, OnlyFans, and Spotify?
Yes, you could do 4 at a time, 4 simultaneous.
Damn, that's
Why
lit.
would we do
That's the
OnlyFans
direction
though?
we
Isn't
need.
OnlyFans for like X-rated shit?
You don't know how I'm supposed to get down. You don't know what I'm about to do. You don't even know it. Shit finna get nasty. I've been a nasty girl. I've been a nasty. And
Nah,
somebody
I
gonna
probably
match my freak.
I would probably want to stick to
And
YouTube
somebody
and
gonna match
Spotify. I
my
think those two
nasty.
for podcasts are probably the best places to be. Spotify and YouTube. You could also do Twitch. Twitch is also good for that as well. But if we're doing video, YouTube just better stay on one platform for the video portion, and then Twitch. And then Spotify.
Yeah, okay, no doubt. I mean, I guess the overarching theme there is no matter where you think you are, the government will come and shut your shit down.
Yeah, the government can do whatever they want, yo. In the end, they don't give a shit. They're gonna do what they do. People just gonna complain.
TikToking boy.
But the pivot, I think the proper pivot is to not depend on one platform to be your sole base revenue platform. You gotta diversify and expand to as multiple platforms as possible, as much as you can handle. And if you're getting big to that point where you're getting over 10 grand, then hire a person to handle one of the platforms for you, and that can expand you even more, because if that platform blows up, then now you got twice the revenue stream so that you can afford to pay that person to do that. And I think that's what you want to do
at that point.
Yeah, especially if that's your primary job and that's all you do, you're going to be at home, then take the time to try to diversify as much as possible. I mean, that's what I would do. Why make money on one platform where you can make double the money by using the same content on 2 different platforms? Like if this was this whole episode was posted on Spotify and on this, then we had twice the opportunity to get viewership. Why aren't we on Spotify?
We're not doing it though, Ed. That's what I'm saying. We gotta do it.
We're looking into that. Come in soon.
Take me through there. Take me through there. We going into Spotify.
Let's figure. Yeah, we can figure this Spotify. Spotify's a huge podcast.
We ending this episode. The episode over. Then go to Spotify.com. Follow the rest of the episode today.
Not for real though. That's true though. Spotify's a huge platform for
just listening. I seen it. I see it all over the place. So I don't know why we was tripping. We got ADHD. It is what it is. So yeah, I guess that's tough titty for them. It is what it is. All right. Moving on. So with all of the geopolitical tensions that are going on in the world, one cannot help to think that us here on our virgin U.S. soil could at some point be thrusted into a defense mode. It seems like these days the powers that be is conjuring up smoke with everybody. He on the eye, anybody can get it. He's a 95 Tupac. He running around with the thug life on across the belly. So with all of that at the front of your mind, what do you think are some of the or is this a question?
Oh shit, that looks like The Last of Us.
When people think about survival, it's bigger than you in most cases. Most of us have loved ones, be it a spouse, a kid, a dog, goldfish. In some movies, nigga pack up their goldfish and go against the world and shit with a little cup. Come on, Rover. Y'all out there fighting zombies. So, it's not just you have to provide for. And most people just think, I got a gun, I'm good. But surviving some real shit goes a lot deeper than just having a gun. Some of the things I came up was your mindset, having your mindset right, having water, food, consistent sources of water and food set up, shelter, medical situation set up, information. You need to have information on where you could possibly navigate to be safe. A bunch of shit. Leadership, rebuilding the community. Are you going to just run by yourself, or you gonna try to build up a little tribe? So, what do you think are some things just outside of just having a strap, just outside of having that switch, as the young niggas in Atlanta say, that'll get you through a survival if China invades, if the government fragments and the society devolves, all of those things. What are some things that get you through other than just having a gun?
Safety in numbers, having a team together, having people that you trust, a circle, creating your own little mini militia. And that's because just one person in a gun is none, because when it comes to that, you have to have multiple people. It's all about covering your points of your angles and points of entry and your weak spots. So if we're in a situation where it's like government completely collapse or invasion, then this is where people need to come together. It's like, so you live in a neighborhood, that neighborhood needs to understand at that point you're in your neighbor has a trouble because of such and such and this and that. All that fucking goes out the window. Now we're fucking family now. You cover my rear, I cover your rear. You cover my left, I cover your right. And you have to unify, because that's the only way to survive. And you can't survive on your own in those situations, because you can try to hunker down on your own, but in the end, resources are going to be limited. So you have to have some kind of plan in place about having some kind of like tribal sense, because we have to break off into mini tribes. You think about it, every country is its own large tribe, right? Then you have your internal conflicts. Well, like when we go back to 9/11, remember those were the times when, it's like during that first year after 9/11 happened, like crime and violent crime in America was down by a lot, where people weren't fighting each other no more, because everybody was looking at each other differently because of what just happened. Somebody on the outside just attacked us. And when that happened, everybody was kind of like, we're all brothers and sisters now for this time.
Some motherfuckers were still out here robbing though, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, of course, looting and stuff happens. But what I'm saying is the larger portion of the people of the United States,
I know what you're saying.
We're in a different mindset. And I think that if something happened on our soil, then we'll see how quickly some of these barriers are going to disappear, because in the end it's about survival. And when you're trying to survive, you want to be able to trust the person to your left and right. Only way you're going to do that is by understanding we have a common goal and a common enemy.
There you go.
My enemy is my friend type of situation. So it's like we're all Americans here. Now it's just us against them. And I think the ultimate thing, survival, is immediately grouping up. Always having that group of people that you trust link up. You see those shows like The Walking Dead and whatnot. Why did that group last so long? Because every time they brought a new member in, they made sure that member became family. And they just stayed together. Hold on.
You think Americans are not petty enough? Do you think Americans are too petty to overlook that? So do you think a criminal the People's Republic of China invades Maine, break in? Do you think the father up there, his neighbor come outside, he like, hey man, look, I saw you looking at my daughter's ass when she came home from college last year, but right now it's bigger than that. We got to fight these Chinese people coming over here. Do you think do you think
America, I don't think that conversation even will be had, because the first thing's going to come into your mind like this is happening. And if I stand by, let that happen there, it's only a matter of time before it trickles down to me anyway. So why would you why would you let that situation overshadow the fact that you're not going to have a daughter, you're not going to have a life, worried about him looking at your daughter's ass? It doesn't matter anymore. You can smack him up later for all you fucking give a fuck. But right now, we have bigger fish to fry. And I think that only way you're going to survive is by putting those petty differences aside and saying, right now, that's not even important. You know what I'm saying?
What if he smacked your daughter's ass and said that thangin'?
I'm still gonna save his ass, because
Ed took a deep breath. Well, that nigga took a deep breath.
And then after you save his ass, you tell him like, you don't deserve this, but right now we're gonna have to do what we got to do. And that person, the crazy thing is, that moment is gonna create a different type of unity, because that person knows they don't deserve your help.
Now let me ask you this one. You know I'm gonna go a level deeper. You was in 8th grade and your neighbor touched your penis in the garage when
Dude,
he told you to get a
you're
weed
trying
whacker.
to find that moment where it's
I'm
gonna change.
thinking we gonna find, and I got a level under this too, in case you bigger than this. If you try to
All right,
MLK out of this one, I got another level.
listen
He touched
to
your
me.
penis. 10
Listen to
years
me.
later,
This is
now the
total
invasion.
invasion where our lives are gonna be lost.
But he touched
my little
touched
penis
your dick.
trauma is gonna have to be pushed aside on this one.
Penis trauma.
The penis trauma gets pushed aside on this one. Because it's a greater good involved. It's like where my family and the people around me is at stake. So it's like you got to formulate the allies. Like I said, it comes down to anywhere my enemy is my friend. So in this moment, when this conflict is over, then we'll revisit that situation.
All right, here we go. I told
you gonna drop another level.
You came back from the war. You was in the military. You came back from the war. He was in there with your wife, hunching. When you came in through the door, he shot you in your femoral artery and put you in a Stephen Hawkins wheelchair. Now the war comes. You got a digital laser on your shit. The like speak and say attack laser, like phaser 1 coordinates.
All right. How many enemies involved in the altercation?
All China. It's 75,000 little niggas just
right. But within our vicinity at the moment, before we have
30.
About 30.
10.
I'll help him kill them 30, and then I'll help him kill them 30, and then after he says thanks for your help, I shoot him in the head.
There we go. Whew, I was waiting for the devil to come. Thank you, Lord. I ain't want to go to the next level because I don't even want to talk about that. The level under that was
now whether or not I will actually do it remains to be seen, but it's like one of those things where that will be my mindset. I was like, I'll fucking kill him after we kill these fools.
Right afterwards.
Because he's going to be comfortable at that point and think that we're allies.
Right. Can you believe we made it out of that? I can't
believe it.
What do you mean by that?
That's for my wife. It's like you can't shoot him in the head then, because then he won't know that he's paying for his sin.
You got to hit him in the femoral artery.
Yeah. Just watch him bleed out. No, I shoot him in the neck so he can slowly. So he has like 3 minutes, and those 3 minutes is like, you shouldn't have touched my wife.
She go play the piano on his ass.
3-1000. You gotta do the equalizer. Should have taken your money.
Count his death away.
19-1000. Remember that shit?
I do.
Should have taken the money. 1000.
That was some cold shit.
That was the coldest shit ever, yo. I go back and watch that movie every now and again when I'm like, I need to watch a cold movie, yo. The first Equalizer.
Yo,
he came in there. He's like $5,100 cash. Then he goes, then he folds it. Then he takes the skulls and points it at each one of them. Then he goes to leave and he goes, and they're all laughing. Then he just proceeds to break down how he's gonna kill everybody. That was cold. How he took the freaking corkscrew and stuck it up in his chin like, yo, that movie was just tough. And then he was sad because it took him 25 seconds extra to kill them, and he was mad about it.
He was an efficient murderer. He was an efficient murderer.
He was like, I'm getting slower, and he was like,
QA. He was a quality assurance murderer. All right. Yeah, anyway, man. So yeah, I guess I don't think at all. Me and one of my other friends, we talk about this all the time. He thinks that.
Why do you keep saying it's China? You're saying China's going to invade.
No, this was just a.
That only brings me back to that. The hypothetical only brings me back to that conspiracy theory where those scientists.
Oh, that's what they're working on, how to get our ass.
Yo, I'm telling you.
It's the circle.
You keep speaking this shit to existence.
No. China cool. We are in a symbiotic relationship with China. So, but people always think that we can catch some smoke, but I think the U.S. knows that people don't like us, and that's why we got the most blickies. If you don't know what blicky is, Google it.
Well, check this out. You don't have it's when it comes down to this thing, it's not about, sometimes being liked is not as good as being respected.
Most times,
as long as we're respected, we'll be all right.
And that's
can't lose the respect. But that's why in the end you have to be strong, firm, but you also have to be honorable. which is why we were talking about the
Wicked
Trump thing in the
things.
last episode. I had to really understand the facts of the thing. Like, did we lose honor in any of these situations? Because if we did, then you have to have a problem with it. Because when you do that, then that means that we become different. Yeah, we're just bullies, just doing what we want, and that's going to create an uprising, and then that's going to mean the people that's in the background secretly hating us are going to have a motivation to stop us. And that's why you have to always have your respect, but have your honor, because that always invites that term, don't start none, won't be none. That means that if we don't start none with them, they ain't gonna come over here and fuck with us. So we just gonna leave that beast alone, because it's not coming for us. But once you start being showing erratic behavior and just like out of nowhere, I'm gonna invade this, I'm invading that. That's the whole reason why the United Nations formed. Because when Hitler started like getting in his mind that we're gonna take over everything, then it's one of those things like it's gonna be so long before he takes over everything. So that way the remaining countries say, we gotta fucking ally up and stop this motherfucking dude.
Stomp it out quick, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta put this fire out.
Even if you try to be righteous, man,
we can't become that type of country where we just invade wherever we want, because that's gonna create the other countries to unify that hate us to unify against us.
We've been doing it for a while though, Ed.
That's why I'm saying we don't know all the facts. So as long as there's honor, at least some form of honor, there's a justification. But I mean, like I said, maybe I gotta pay attention more and look into these things more.
Look at anything that said they were spreading democracy, and it's taking over. We taking over one city.
We're spreading democracy.
We spread.
I like this. I like some of that democracy we spread here on American soil. How about that?
You can't get no freedom. We the best.
How about we eliminate the electoral college and create a better voting system?
Don't do that, yo. You trying to get us killed. You trying to get on Haitian status. You about to get deported, my boy. I'm like, turn those papers upside down, my dog. You're out of here, baby.
Let's mix things up a little bit, yo. Yeah. We've had the same system in place since way before technology was in place. We have different ways to do things now.
Before technology was in place.
So we got the same voting system. This is crazy, son. Like, think about this for a minute. Like, we ain't changing our voting system. Like, are you serious right now?
Because Benjamin Franklin had a wig on when he said do it, yo. So we gotta keep it in place.
It's just wild how this whole anyways, that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, that's a whole different conversation. We can shelf that for 2 or 3 weeks down the road. I took a note of it. All right. Here we are, guys, ladies and gentlemen. We are at the back end of the show. You already know what it is when we get to this point. And of course, we are still in that magic place, that magic special place. What is that magic special place? Oh, you know what it is, baby girl. It's Poppy's Playoff Quick Picks.
Playoff?
I gotta find a way.
I get a copyright strike for saying playoffs?
Hell no, fuck him. He all right. He can't coin terminology. All right, guys, here we are. And then there were 4 games left. And yo, Ed, as a sidebar before we get into this, bro, it really feel like the season just kicked off maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, man. This I mean, from the moment that we started brought this podcast back up, we started doing this thing. It seemed like the pacing seemed like really steady, and then all of a sudden it felt like we just got on a boost and just zoomed right through this whole football season. And like we just flew, and 20 episodes later, like boom, we're in season 3. Like what's going on? We done made a trip to Atlanta watching football. I got to go to a football game. It's like I had a streak going before COVID, where I went to a football game at least once every football season. And it was obviously Ravens games. And I went to at least one Ravens game every year. And that stopped. The COVID kind of put a halt to that. And then I never got back into it. And then that was my first football game since then. Nice. So it was really cool. And I'm already planning on going to I went to a Rams game this year with you. Next year, you got to come to a Ravens game with me.
Where they playing at?
Even Carolina Panthers and Ravens at
Bank of America. Oh, that's say less. We in there. As soon as the tickets come up, let me know so we can get it early and just get it out the way.
And had I not had this Tulsa trip, I probably would have been like, "Yo, let's go ahead and go to that." I would have went to that playoff game for sure. I just couldn't handle taking 2 long trips back to back.
Oh,
It
this
would have been.
yeah. But them
Yeah, when you
tickets was
said
crazy
that,
though, dog.
they were high.
And these
Yeah, because
Bears
it's the
tickets are
playoffs.
even more crazy.
Because it was a playoffs. But is there any Rams games? That's any local areas or places that you haven't been or I haven't been?
Next season we'll figure something out, but we'll do the Ravens.
But
Unless
yeah, at Panthers, that Ravens at Panthers next year. I haven't been to Bank of America Stadium yet, so I'd like to go.
okay, I was gonna say let's do a new stadium, but if that's new to you, let's do it. But
Oh,
anyway, all right, we'll
you've been
plan
to
that
Bank
out.
of America? Oh, that's
No,
right.
no, 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 no. I
You
didn't. I
you
haven't
haven't
been.
been to
I didn't
Bank
go
of
this
America
past.
yet?
No.
Okay.
So I'm with it. Pause. We can keep
Yeah.
pounding. Pause. But
And
anyway,
that's 3 hours from here though, so it's like we could make that trip same day.
all right. Now I'm not there, but you know.
Right. Well, you have to just come to me.
Pause.
You come to me, and from here we'll go there.
Oh, baby, bring it on to me. Looking ass. TLC, total looking ass. All right, here we go right here. This weekend, we have 2 sets of games on 2 separate days. This Saturday, let's kick it off with the first game. First teams who shall have their face decided on the gridiron. The Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills come up to Highmark Stadium to take on Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos. How's this one going to play out, Ed? You was cooking last week too, yo. You was cooking last week.
Yeah, man. I only 2 games didn't go the way that I said, but I mean, both the picks that I did on those were based on bias more so than reality. Especially the Bills losing will just be saying fuck the Bills. But hey, the Jags put up an effort, and then the Chargers. You know, the bias was Jim Harbaugh being the brother of John Harbaugh. Wanted to see him succeed, but hey, in the end, the Patriots. I mean, that was such a grinded out game, wasn't it? And then in the end, I think the hindering factor of that game was San Diego, Los Angeles Chargers didn't have their tackles. They're losing their tackles made their offensive line suspect, and poor Herbert was getting slapped around like a stepchild. Anyways, that's beside the point. But this is actually a tough matchup to really gauge here because I'm looking at the Buffalo Bills and seeing how energized Josh Allen is, and he's basically in that game against the Jaguars, man. That was incredible that the final 2 scoring drives that they did was all Josh Allen willing that team to victory, and you can't discount that. But the Broncos defense is legit, and it comes down to that. And that's why I still have to favor the Broncos, not because Josh Allen's not a beast, but he could easily make me wrong. But I'm still going to pick the Denver Broncos because, one, they just had a bye week, and their defense is legit. They have the better defense of the 2 teams. And I like what Sean Payton is doing with that offense. Sean Payton is a guru, man. He always had a knack for like solid game plans, and I think that he's gonna pull out some stuff that we haven't seen yet, is what I'm thinking, and I think that's what it's gonna come down to. I think it's still gonna be a close game.
Gonna pull out?
What's up?
What you think he's gonna pull out that you never seen?
He's gonna pull off some like trick plays and whatnot, different little things. Nice try, Sean. Nice try.
Ed said, "Say what?" Ed said, "Say what?"
Can you repeat that, please? I think this is going to be one of the. It's going to be just like the lead changes, just like the Bills and the Jags. I think this is going to be a back and forth thing. I think it's going to probably start out the first mid second quarter is going to be slow, probably some punt fest here and there. But I think that once the game gets rolling, I think we're going to see some back and forth going on. So I think the Broncos are going to pull it off in the end based on they just have the better game plan. And the Bills are suspect against the run. Bottom line, if the Jaguars would have really focused hard in on the run in the second half, I think they should have won that game. But they kind of like got into the shootout and let the Bills dictate that, and I think that's why the Jaguars ended up losing. But it's fine. The Jaguars will be fine. They had a better season than people expected. Broncos are going to pull this one off 28-24.
I like that. Yeah. I think Josh Allen's out of juice. Weather won't be a factor up in Mile High. They both from inclement weather. I'm taking Broncos 35-17. I just think Josh out of juice. Next, we head up to Lumen Field in Seattle for interconference playoff match. which is going to be the same thing next weekend, NFC. You heard, man. But the 49ers travel up to Lumen Field to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Ed, what's up with this one, dog?
Man, they lost George Kittle to an Achilles,
Oof.
and I think that's huge. And I think the 49ers, man, it's just you gotta big up that coaching staff because their defense took a lot of injuries on the especially in the linebacker position. The linebacker position lost a lot. They lost Bosa and they got Fred Warner gone, but this defense still looks super solid. And that's a testament to Robert Saleh and what he's able to do there. And I think Kyle Shanahan is a big part of that too, because he's really good at like adjusting to personnel. Like he really is good at figuring out how to get the most out of his players. And I think when you incorporate Robert Saleh with that makes them dangerous. But I think that they just got too many things going against them. And I think the Seahawks are just on a roll right now. And I think that this should be a close game, but I just have a feeling that the Seahawks are about to steamroll the 49ers. No disrespect to 49ers, because I've always been talking highly about their coaching staff. And I still think that they have probably the best coaching trio there with who's there? Clay, was it Clay?
Mike McDonald. Oh, you talking about 49ers?
Yeah, the 49ers. You got Robert Saleh for defense corner and damn, how am I going to Clay Kubiak, and then you got Kyle Shanahan. Those three coaches together are just a solid trio of coaches. But they're just not going to be able to overcome what the Seahawks are bringing right now. And they got a Kubiak over there too. So it's like it's just the Seahawks are, man, they're playing phenomenal. Even though they don't even got the best quarterback. But I mean, who's the better quarterback in your opinion?
Between Purdy and Donald?
Sam Darnold and Brock Purdy.
I'm gonna take Purdy.
Yeah, I think you edge Purdy a little bit because he's got the mobility factor that Sam Darnold does not have. He also is better under pressure than Sam Darnold.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He gonna pull that trigger. Sam gonna throw a pick and be like, "Oh, mom, terrible game."
I just think that what like Clint Kubiak,
the Negroes wouldn't stop chasing me.
Unlock Jackson Smith and Jigba, and right now the two best wide receivers of this year are Puka Nacua and Jackson Smith and Jigba. Those two to me are the best receivers of this year. I'm saying like the body of work, and Jackson Smith and Jigba is just a beast. And I'm just gonna take the Seattle Seahawks. I think they're gonna win multiple score. I think it's gonna be 31-20.
Yikes. Okay. Well, I'm as you did with last week's pick, I'm gonna make one out of hate. I hope the 49ers bust the Seahawks ass. I hope the Seahawks was eating Taco Bell all this past week, was getting fat and comfortable. I hope the Seahawks lose 17-42 on some running.
Why do you hate the Seahawks so much? Because they won the division?
Yeah, that's why. That's exactly why you want.
You know what you should want? If I was you, you should want the Seahawks to win, so that way the Rams and the Seahawks are in the NFC Championship. So then y'all could beat them and get your payback. That's how you should want
it. If the 49ers win, San Francisco come to SoFi and we have a home game in the playoffs. That's what I'm hoping for.
Oh, that's what you're hoping for. All right. Well, I mean, I can see that, but I mean, I think that like I know that Seattle's on a roll right now. And them losing Kittle, I think them losing Kittle is kind of big because I saw the tight ends that they had. It's like they don't have terrible tight ends, but Kittle was their top tight end.
The playbook changed. The playbook changed when Kittle fell. So
yeah.
All right. So next, now that's it for our Saturday games or our Saturday games. Like I own the NFL. That's it for the Saturday game. What do you
think about Kittle? Is he done? He keeps getting injured, man.
He keeps getting injured at the end of the season when they need him.
Man, it's just crazy. He's just.
But I don't think he's done because he is the embodiment. He's a face over there. I haven't even heard no whispers about that yet, and I don't think he getting money.
Like you think if you're him, you're like I'm done because an Achilles tear. Achilles are they're one of the roughest things to rehab.
Yeah, he might be now.
He's in his 30s now.
Yeah, this could be the toll on the door, but that man a psycho. He gonna keep playing. He
is kind of wild, isn't he?
Yeah,
he said, "Isn't his statement was football sucks sometimes, but I love it."
Yeah, something like
that's
that.
What he said.
He gonna be one of them type dudes that don't stop till his body be like, "All right, George." That's when he'll stop. Until
don't stop till you get enough.
You sure I can't go any more knees? Nope, that's it. All right.
That's it, buddy.
That's it. Why the knees so tender? Nope, that's it, George.
Oh, my knee.
All right, I guess I'll quit. All right, next, man, the Sunday games. The first 3 o'clock game, not the first 3 o'clock game. The first game of the day is at 3 o'clock. CJ Stroud and the ferocious Houston Texans defense fly up to Gillette Stadium to take on babyface Drake. I don't want no problems while you want it from me. Drake, Stephon Diggs, and the Patriots. What you got, Ed? Let me hear it.
They also got a solid. The Patriots got a solid defense too. Let's face it.
They got solid what?
They got a solid defense too. But I think Christian Gonzalez is something to pay notice to because he's in concussion protocol. But
CP.
But so I mean, I really like both these teams as far as defensively goes. They both got like super strong defenses that can really shut out teams. And man, this was a tough one. Like while we were picking the other ones, I kept thinking I'm back and forth with this one. So I think this one's to me is a toss up. I think it's going to come down to possession, time of possession, and mistakes. Who makes the least mistakes? And right now, guess who's more mistake prone? The Texans. The Texans seem to have woes with drop passes, woes with fumbles. Especially in the quarterback position. CJ Stroud has had some handling issues.
Didn't he drop it 4 times last game?
Yeah, and I think Drake May is just more fundamentally sound between the two quarterbacks. Now, talent-wise, I like both of them as far as talent because they both have exceptional talent. But right now, Drake May is just more fundamentally sound. So, and it's Patriots at home. So I think this is going to be a close one because of their defense. I think we're going to get some field goal fest for a minute, and then we're going to get some momentum going towards the end. Kind of like the Chargers game. It's going to be similar where there are going to be some punts here and then, this and that. But I'm going to take the Patriots. The Patriots are going to win 20-17.
I'm gonna follow you tonight on that one, bro. 2017 Pats, and I hate to see it go down to my man CJ Stroud.
I really wanted to see the Texans like do something because I like D'Amico Ryans and I like with CJ Stroud. Nico Collins is one of my favorite receivers. You know, I've been bigging him up like all year. Like Nico Collins,
you have been on his wood, yeah.
And I really like Nico Collins as a wide receiver. He's a solid. I like the fact that he has the ability to do everything on the field as a wide receiver. Hey, don't be saying I was on his wood either, Paul.
I was like,
just throw it there. But anyways, beside the point, the fact of the matter is, I just like I'm just seeing when I see the two teams and what my eyes see is that the Patriots are just more fundamentally sound. It's like they don't make as many mistakes as the Texans do. And I think when you have a team that makes little mistakes and then you make a lot of mistakes, that's usually going to be opening the door for situations there. And I think that's the reason why. Even the fact I still said 2017, it just lets you know that Texans are going to fight back, but they're not going to overcome their mistakes, and it's going to be 2017.
Okay,
but I really want to say
field goal or some. You think it's going to be a field goal or some hold the ball? They got a first down.
Oh, I think that the Patriots are going to get to 20, and it's going to be like on some 20-10 type stuff in the fourth quarter, and then the Texans are going to probably pop in a touchdown, and then. The Texans are going to have an opportunity to go down the field, and a turnover is going to be the deciding factor. They're going to go down the field to either tie it or win the game with the possession. But the Patriots defense,
downs or a pick.
Yeah, something like that's going to happen, and that's how the Patriots are going to end up winning that game. It's going to be one more turnover that happens at the end of the game, and then CJ Stroud's going to be talking about like turnovers. We got to overcome those, but that's the story of the Texans. They started out that way, and then they cleaned it up, went on a win streak, and then the playoffs it showed itself again. But the difference is that, like I said, the Texans were going to blow. I told you they were going to blow the Steelers out. I was like, the Steelers are going to hang for a while. It's going to be one of those things. But
I felt bad.
The defense got 2 touchdowns. I felt bad for Aaron Rodgers too, but 2 defensive touchdowns on Aaron Rodgers, yo.
They sat in that last drive. You saw that last drive.
There's no reason for them to play. They were mathematically done already. Like, what are they going to score?
Mathematically eliminated.
Yeah, they mathematically done. It's like no point to keep playing.
Ice up, son. Ice up. Ice up. All right, here we go. Last one. The Los Angeles Rams travel to Soldier Field to take on the Chicago Bears.
Hey man, you've
Give
been
it to
kind of
the
low
Ravens.
key bigging up the Bears all season too, but now
This is
you
where that
can't do
shit
that no
stop.
more.
Fuck
Now
a
you can't
Bear.
do that more. I think that man, the Bears, they're really
And it's
hard to gauge because man, out of all the teams this year in the league, no team has overcame deficits more than the Bears this year. No
Yep.
team has come back from the depths of despair and overcame. And I think that the way they won last week is going to make them dangerous because you can't really count them out. And I don't think that they'll count themselves out. They've came back so many times that even then, so the Rams should win this game, but they're in Chicago. And if you guys are going to win this game, those second half turnovers need to stop. That happened last week, and the Panthers almost capitalized and beat y'all. You guys are going to need Matthew Stafford to be mistake-free because if he's not, you're going to open the door for the Bears. I think that the Rams are going to jump in the lead in the beginning of this game. I think they're going to start with the lead. They're going to have the lead.
Yep.
But the danger is that second half. Can you guys stay smart, protect the ball, you win the game? And I think that's the tail of the tape in this one because the Bears are dangerous because they don't quit because they came back so many times that even if they're down by 14, 17, they're going to come to play. And you guys get complacent, shit hits the fan. They're going to take the game away from you. So I'm gonna call the Rams on the sake of my partner, but I'm gonna err the side of caution is you guys better not be making no mistakes in the second half because the Bears are a strong second half team and the Rams have had some woes in the second half of the games, and you know that's fact. So I'm gonna say the Rams are gonna pull off and hold off the Bears from a possible comeback, 34-27.
You know, a lot of people have been saying that, the Bears got a good second comeback team. They always come back. They count them out. They come back. There's only so many times you can have sex with prostitutes unprotected before you get burnt. And these niggas is out of luck. It's over with all of that. We're going to beat them early. We're going to get up 21-0, and we're going to run the flicking ball with Kyron Williams and Blake Corum. And we going to the NFC Championship home versus the 49ers. Rams win this game in a shocking fashion in Chicago. Crime rate going to jump 50% overnight. 34-17. Bear down on this dick. That's been Poppy's playoff quick picks. And if you think the Rams ain't winning, I hope you get handicapped. We going to the Super Bowl, baby girl. Fuck your life.
Hey, yo, remember when I told you earlier, Seahawks, Patriots? I think that's what's going to end up being. Super Bowl. Unless the Broncos got something to say about it. But we'll see. Let's set the sound.
Fuck are you talking about, buddy? All the things, long slide. It's Poppy's quick picks, bitch, and this the playoffs. I want y'all to know something, man. I don't like the Rams, dog. I am the Rams. I embodied the Rams. We was in St. Louis winning one game a year. You know how much disrespect I caught on a minutely basis? Like discussions, you walk in the circle, you be like, who your team? We the Ravens. The Ravens good. We Steelers. We good. Who's your team? Rams. Niggas be like, neck, stomach forward laughing, nigga. What could I say?
Hey yo,
Now
I wish that I had talked to you that time in 2019 when the Ravens traveled to the Rams and Lamar Jackson had that 5 touchdown game. He's like, we got a Jackson 5. How are you feeling in that game?
How you feeling now, nigga? This is 2026. If you want to watch ESPN Classic, wait till the episode over and go watch that shit, nigga. How you feel, nigga? I felt bad, nigga. We had on the good uniforms in the Coliseum and got cooked. You think I don't remember this?
Yeah. Hey, yo, they was doing that.
Niggas doing that, huh? I
Hey, yo,
think
you see
about
how
that, man.
did you see how the Titans did that to us in the playoff game that year too?
Yeah, it ain't hit the same because Lamar was cooking that night against us. It don't hit the same. It don't hit the same. I was mad as hell. It's worse being from here because everybody here is a Ravens fan 90% of the time. Fuck. Anyway, yeah. Why you bring
Yeah,
that
I
shit
know.
up, man? You trying to rain on my parade, bitch.
Hey, yo, because I think I do remember people were flaming you, and I think that was the only one that I was gracious in the comments. Remember, I was
No, you
gracious like,
weren't
"Hey man, it was a good
gracious.
game." Yeah, I
None
was.
of
I
y'all
didn't say
niggas was
nothing mean.
gracious.
I didn't say nothing mean to you, yo.
Let me pull up the Carfax on this young man. He think he was a Christian. You
Hey,
ain't a
yo,
Christian.
you.
You
I
a
know you were
freaking
getting
heathen.
torched. You were getting torched. I remember, and I was like,
A couple years later, we won the Super Bowl though,
"You did.
and we had it back again. Praise God.
You did."
All right, guys. That was Poppy's playoff quick picks, man. Ed, thanks for the picks, my dude. The playoffs is heating up, man. We look forward to seeing the way the rest of this will unravel. Guys, here we are. This was an unabated episode, Ed, man. We got to talk about a majority of the things that we wanted to talk about tonight. Yeah.
Oh, can I
anything
throw
you wanna
this in
throw-
real quick? The Ravens.
Absolutely. I was about to ask you that.
The Ravens had 10 coaches. As of now, 10 coaches have been interviewed for the head coaching position. It's just crazy how many coaches they're going through right now. And we're still waiting for, we got 2 coaches from the Rams waiting on that. We got two interview requests from the Rams that we still waiting on. And then some, we already interviewed Clint Kubiak. But I think that the 49ers, they might interview their offensive coordinator. Robert Saleh is a request we're waiting on as well. They haven't interviewed him yet. But man, they're really digging in, and I really like how the Ravens are showing the league. Like, this is how when you look for a head coach, you ain't just interviewing a few guys and just take one. You're going through the process, and they had the owners meeting, and they were really transparent on what they're deciding to do. They're going to interview every single candidate they want to interview, and then after, they're going to sit back. They're doing all Zoom interviews for all of these interviews, and then they're going to pick the top 5 of all these interviews and do in-person interviews. And they're bringing in Lamar Jackson to be at that interview so he can ask some questions as well. Now, that doesn't mean, because fans are taking this as Lamar shouldn't have a decision. He doesn't.
He will.
He doesn't have a say, but they want to know how he feels and how he blends. It's facts, yo. Go watch the owner thing. Steve Bisciotti don't play when it comes to that.
If you go to a meeting and they have their lawyer sitting there, be like, oh, he's just here to listen. He's
no. Of course, no. Well, part of the thing is it's not. He's gonna have a direct or indirect.
He's not gonna have the say, but he'll have a say. Is what I'm saying.
No, of course. As I said, he's gonna have his opinion, and also it's gonna determine on how he meshes with that. Part of that is like, can that relationship between these two, if they have chemistry. Okay. So that's the reason why they want him there, so see if there's chemistry there, because that's part of the process. You're going to be working with this quarterback, working with the staff, and they're going to have these 5 coaches. Out of all these coaches are going to be in person. Once that's decided, they're going to pick the head coach for the Ravens, and they plan on having this done before the NFL Combine. So that way that coach has opportunity to build his staff and start helping on the scouting process on building the roster as well. So there's a lot going on with the Ravens. It's exciting. I think that's cool when stuff like this happens, because this is going to be the 4th coach that the Ravens have, because they've only had 3 coaches.
You understand?
So this is going to be the 4th coach the Ravens is going to have, and they're planning on having him for the next 10 to 15 years. So that's why they're going through this extensive process. So I'm excited about that for next year. I can't wait for when we get into that March, April, and when we see the coach and we get to talk about the next season. That's all I got to say.
The next chapter for the Ravens, the next chapter in the flock
is around the corner.
Take a look out our door.
We're gonna win 3 Super Bowls back to back. Gonna be the first team to win 3 Super Bowls. You'll see.
Boy, you're out on that coke.
Oh yeah, I'm snorting purple lines.
Jesus Lord, you need help. Exercise those demons. All right, guys. We appreciate you hanging out.
A black line, purple line.
Don't do that. Yeah, purple lines. That's ketamine. You're gonna be dancing with your clothes off. Where's my dick? Where's my dick?
I'm gonna be dancing on the ceiling. We was dancing on the ceiling.
He's high, Mom. He sure is, Calvin. I don't know. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Too Late We Said It podcast. As always, from my illustrious co-host Edwin Nevada and myself, we appreciate you guys for tuning in, giving your time and your attention to us, even if you're just throwing us in your earbuds while you clean your house, beat your kids, go shopping, whatever you're doing. We appreciate you listening. Just don't beat them till they fall asleep, because that's murder. Ed, you have anything to add before we slide?
Beat them till they fall asleep. Hey, yo, you know that whooper was crazy when you go to sleep right after, yo.
That's why I said it. I done had it. Oh, shit, bitch ain't gonna stop.
Like straight
I might as
snoring.
well go to sleep. Exactly. It don't hurt while I'm sleeping. Shit. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Have a great Saturday, rest of your Saturday night. And we'll holler at y'all next week from the Too Late We Said It podcast, boys. Peace.
Peace.